Joining us now here, she is now a two-time CUSA All-Conference performer the last 2 years. Of course, currently, as we talk, hitting 540 on the season, one of the best hitters in the country, slugging 680 with an on-base of 589, 7 stolen bases. She was among the nation's leaders last year with 40 stolen bases. Regarded also, if you look at all the metrics, one of the best defensive outfielders in the sport. I speak of FIU's outfielder Kally Meredith joining us here on In the Circle of D1 Softball. How you doing?
Good. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Well, let's talk about your team. You're off to a 13-3 start as we talk. Just talk about what's it been like here the first few weeks. You've beaten Louisville. You've beaten some. I thought for a minute you were trying to win the ACC title there with the wins you have over Georgia Tech and Louisville. But just talk about this group and what you've learned so far in the first 16 games.
Yeah, this group is awesome. We have a really strong core returning from last year, and then we have a lot of newcomers too, and a few newcomers just stepped into really key positions, and it's been awesome to get to work with this team. I know I was out in the fall, so I'm fresh on coming off of January. I've been able to kind of get back on the field and work with everyone. It's just been a blast. I mean, everyone's just so supportive, and everyone just gets along really well. So it's been a lot of fun, and I think that has shown in our results on the field.
For people that haven't followed your team on a daily basis, talk about some of your teammates, some names that people need to know.
Yeah. Obviously, I mean, we can just go down the whole roster. I mean, if we're talking pitching, we got Kennedy Bird, Rue. She's been our rock for the past 2 years, and she's just off to a great start, and she swings a really good bat too. And then we got Brooke McNichols, who is having a really good senior season so far. Jada, she's a transfer in, and she's been doing great for us. We have Megan Villazone. She's been doing really good. She's a freshman that has stepped into some pretty big roles. And then Megan Kruger had some big wins for us last year. So we just got a lot of pitching depth this year. And then, I mean, I think our defense is just pretty stacked this year. We have so much athleticism just going around the field. We got Paige Miller at third base, who was also all conference last year and one of my best friends growing up. And then we got Zamaya McBurrows at short, who was out last year. So it's been really fun to see her back. And then Leah Clark at second. She's been doing a great job. She's a transfer in. We got a few people kind of fighting for the first base position. We got Sammy Zelenka and Janelle Martinez. And then in the outfield, we have Kendall Catherwood, who is a really strong bat for us. And then Bella Perez. Can't forget about her behind the dish. So yeah, we honestly, I can't just give you a few names because everyone is pulling their weight, and it's a team effort.
Listen, the beauty of the podcast, you can name as many as you want. We got time, right? But it sounds to me, you could maybe I'm reading. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm reading too much into this. You got more depth this year than you had in last year's team. Is that accurate?
Oh yeah, we have the most depth this year, and I mean, even our bench, they come this past weekend. Zamaya was out with a concussion, so we've had girls come off the bench and freshmen come off the bench, and they just jump right in and they do their job. And obviously it's hard being a freshman. I mean, everyone knows that freshman year is hard, but we try to just rally around them, and they've been doing a great job. It's really fun to see everyone get an opportunity and everyone succeed when they get that chance.
Let's talk about your own game. You mentioned you were in the fall there. First of all, health, you feeling good? Obviously, your play suggests you're feeling healthy. What did you work on this off season when you could to improve on what you've done so far in your career?
Yeah, I think a lot of my success early in the season has been a little bit of a perspective change. Obviously, anyone that goes through any kind of surgery knows that, and it's just everything is taken away from you. So just being able to come back and enjoy the game and not get too wrapped up in all the pressure or all the, oh, you had a great season last season, you better have a better one, and just play the game and have fun with your teammates and trust your fundamentals and trust your training. I think that's a huge thing, especially coming off of a surgery. I didn't really have all fall to train, so I'm just kind of trusting my training from years before and just trusting my softball IQ and knowledge, and just trusting that I know how to play the game.
How quickly did you feel like, okay, I'm back to where I want to be? Or do you still feel you're close? I mean, how do you feel?
I feel good. I mean, obviously, anyone that gets surgery, once you get surgery, and even if you're a few months post-op, your problems just magically don't go away. But I've been doing a good job, and my trainers have been really helping me and my strength coaches to just stay at the top of my game and just feel good. So I think honestly, opening day, I mean, I cut it as close as I could. It kind of just clicked when it had to, and I'm really really grateful for that.
Hey, that's when it counts. That's what they like to say.
Yes.
So let's talk about your head coach, Mike Larrabee. Everybody knows what he's been going through, obviously, with his health, with the cancer treatment. What's it been like playing for him and seeing what he's been going through? And yet, it feels like y'all have rallied around him.
Yeah, for sure. We just try to support him in any way that we can. Obviously, anyone going through that kind of sickness or illness is going to have good days and bad days. So we just try to support him when we can, and the other coaches do a really good job of maybe picking up some slack if he can't do something physically. So we just all make the most of it and are happy that he's on the field and feeling good enough to coach this year.
Let's talk about your own game here. You're known for your speed and you're known for your defense. So let's start with your defense because you're ranked very highly in a lot of the stats that look up defense. You're right there mentioned. And I think some people get thrown off at first when they see your name, but you've now proven that you're consistent. Talk about your defensive mechanics and the key to success being a great defensive outfielder.
Yeah, I think just trusting yourself and almost like not thinking is the best thing you can do. You just gotta if see ball, go get ball and give it your all and not hesitating because I think that's where at least personally I get in trouble is if I'm like, maybe I can catch it and instead of that just going and getting it and coming up with the ball a lot more times than not.
Was defense something you worked on a lot throughout as you were growing up or just natural?
Yeah, for sure. I played for a pretty competitive high school team. We won three state championships in a row, and when I tell you that we were out there, because I'm from Wisconsin, we were out there in Wisconsin in the freezing cold, just getting balls hit back and forth and back and forth, and that's just a testament to all the great coaches that I've had growing up and throughout the years. They've definitely pushed me to go get every single ball and that nothing drops in the outfield. So it's just something that I've carried on to college.
Now, again, I read your numbers. You're 680 slugging, 589 on base. You can do a little bit of everything. Describe your hitting style for people that haven't seen you play because I think some people have a misled about you. You have power. You're more of a slap hitter, but you have power. Just discuss your overall game.
Yeah. So growing up and just kind of in my whole softball career, I've always been pretty small and fast. So I've just learned to use that to my advantage. And when I can, and when the opportunity is right, I'll try to power slap or swing away. But for the most part, I'm trying to get on base for my team. So if a bunt or a little chop slap or something is going to do the job, then that's what I'm going to do to get on base for my team.
Do you like the fact that they underestimate you because of that? Because I could see a scenario where teams challenge you, thinking, "Oh, well, she's not." Next thing you know, you throw them out with your arm, and they realize, "Oh, shoot, that was a mistake." I mean, do you sense that from time to time?
Yeah, I try not to get too wrapped up in it. I try to just like stay within myself and play my game. I mean, obviously, like people scout and people look at all of that. So, but I think if I try just not to think about that and just stay within myself and play the game and whatever happens, happens.
Let's talk about what got you into playing softball growing up.
My dad, he played college baseball and then men's fast pitch, and he just really wanted a softball player because my two older sisters figure skated. So then my younger sister and I kind of just got into softball, and he just ran with it.
That's pretty good. Where did you play college baseball?
UW Oshkosh. It's a D3 in Wisconsin.
Hey, it counts.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So clearly that influenced you in playing the sport.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
as you grew up, how did you end up going to FIU?
It's a good question. So I always wanted to play in Florida. I think just growing up in Wisconsin, it was obviously very cold and my family and I always vacationed in Florida and I had some family down here. So I just really, really loved it down here. So I knew that if I had the opportunity that I would kind of jump on it. And I had a few offers from schools down here and FIU just at the time and just everything kind of felt like home and just clicked and yeah, so it's kind of how I ended up there.
Weather's pretty good, right? When everybody's complaining about 30, 40-degree weather, you're
I
like,
know.
it's a cold front, and the 305 zip code's like 70.
Yeah, it was honestly, it got in the 50s like a few weeks ago. It was cold. Like I've been in Florida too long. My
Now you
Wisconsin
know. That's it.
on.
Now you know you're a Floridian when it's like, in the 50s and you're, cold. I grew up down there, so but that's funny. You coming from Wisconsin now, you're feeling cold in the 50s degree weather
Yeah.
there. What's it like? Describe being a student athlete at FIU. It's unique. I have family that went there. It's
Mhm.
unique because it's an international type flavor school,
Mhm. Mhm.
and not to mention obviously all that surrounds Miami.
Yeah. Our campus is beautiful. I have no complaints about going to school here. They do a really good job here about letting us do online classes. A lot of the student athletes kind of go that route, which is such a blessing and so amazing because we have practice in the morning and weights in the morning. And then after that, you can kind of just like go back to your room, chill, do your homework, do your classes, and then kind of start your day over. But it's it's so nice. I mean, we have time to go to the pool. We have time to I know a lot of my teammates like take walks around campus or go to the beach and stuff like that. So I can't complain about the weather, about the school, and about how accommodating they are with the student athlete lifestyle.
Did you get to attend some sporting events down there in South Florida? There's a few to pick from.
Yeah, for sure. I've been to a Dolphins game, um, and then I we kind of like to go to some of the games on campus and support those teams. So we go to like the basketball or baseball or soccer games or whatever. So
Good for you on that. I like that.
yeah.
That's better time than the Dolphins anyway. I wouldn't recommend all that. What do you want to do outside of softball?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I'm majoring in psychology, and I'm actually thinking about probably hoping for an opportunity to maybe be a GA somewhere or get my master's degree in that route, and maybe in some sports psychology, and then either find a job through sports or coaching or something. I don't know. See where it takes me.
What intrigues you about psychology?
I mean, what isn't intriguing about psychology? It's kind of a little bit of everything, and it leaves a very broad spectrum of what you can go into. So there's so many different routes you can take and things that you can specialize in. So at the time, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So it just kind of was pretty open ended major.
That's pretty good. I got you on that. Makes a ton of sense on that, for sure. With the psychology there, what do you have a chip on the shoulder? You've been a second team All CUSA 2 years in a row. Is there a part of you that's like, I'm a first teamer, darn it, and I'm gonna prove it. You want to prove that some of the people that didn't vote for you for first team.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of so many great outfielders and just so many great athletes in our conference. I mean, Liberty last year with having Rachel Roop and KK Madry and all them. So it doesn't take anything away from them. So I obviously would like that, but I just try to play my game and whatever happens happens at the end of the day. If I do my job, then hopefully those awards just fall into place.
When you see Liberty win a regional, get to a super regional, do you think as a team, hey, we could do that too?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that just says so much about our conference. And as much as everyone wants to knock them off, you see them playing like a number one seed, and you're rooting for them. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone likes to see a mid major or maybe an underdog kind of do something like that. So yeah, it's definitely inspiring, and I think the whole conference just opened all of our eyes into like we can go make some do some damage and really like play in the postseason.
For the returners, you read my mind there.
Yeah,
I know you didn't finish the season you would have liked
yeah,
last season.
yeah.
What's the message to the veterans after last year? What did you take from last year? Do you hope to apply this year to help you this year not repeat that finish?
Yeah, one thing that Coach Larrabee has really been instilling in us is that we need to start strong and finish stronger. So a big thing that they're trying to also like incorporate into our practices is not to get burnt out. So this is a long season; it's a marathon, not a sprint. So we just try to do our jobs and get after it for a couple hours, and then get out of there and stay fresh and have lives outside of softball to keep it fun. So those are some things that we're focusing on to hopefully have a stronger end of the season.
Who's the one that's got the best sense of humor on the team?
Oh gosh. Who's There's so many funny people on our team. I feel like everyone just feeds off of each other. I mean, I'd say Daly also Brooks, she's a freshman. She's got a pretty good sense of humor and a lot of the freshmen are funny. Tori Scott is really funny. There's a lot of personality on our team. I don't know if anyone's been following our social media or our whatever, is you can tell that we have a good time.
That's good. You gotta have to have a good time, right? You gotta have fun with this sport when you can. That's for sure. I mean, there's not even a question about that. How would you describe your style of play to somebody that's gonna watch you play this season?
Ooh, that's a good one. How would I describe it? I would just say gritty. I feel like I'm like in there just trying to do what I can to get on base and to get into scoring position and to make plays for my team. So I just try to be gritty in the box and in the outfield.
Y'all as a team has built quietly a nice home field advantage there. You had a nice little win streak. Talk about playing down there at home. I know you've had some great midweek games there with FAU, et cetera. Talk about that home field advantage that you're all quietly are building on down there.
Yeah, we love playing at home. That's one thing that our team really loves is that being established in Florida is a lot of teams come to us because our weather is so great. And I just think one main advantage too is we usually always have good weather. So we're outside year round. We don't really have an indoor facility. So when we have teams coming down from the Midwest or from areas that have snow, they maybe have only had a few practices outside when we've been outside since the whole year. So that's been something we're trying to capitalize on, especially in the beginning of the season, just taking advantage of that and knowing everything about our field and our wall and our like backstops and all that. So
That
that's
makes
definitely fun.
that makes a good deal there. Have you run into any celebrities down there in South Florida since you've been down there?
Ooh. We ran into the Cavender twins at the airport
Whoa.
one time. I don't know if you know
Yeah,
who they
I know,
are.
I do, I do.
Considered a celebrity, but um yeah. I think that's the only one. And we're waiting for Pitbull. Like
Yes.
there's been all these rumors that he's gonna be like on campus, or we thought this at this one event we thought he was gonna come out and he never
Is
did.
it
And we're like, come on.
isn't your football stadium named after him?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he like sponsors, I don't know if it's our football team only or our athletics, but we figured that he'd make some kind of showing on
Right?
campus.
I
So we're
agree.
waiting for one.
Oh, that's gonna happen. I mean, you're gonna have to be patient probably. And it's probably gonna be at one of these football stadiums you're probably gonna have to
Yeah,
do. But that's
for
probably that
sure.
Pitbull, that's right, you have your football stadium there. That makes a ton of
Mhm.
sense there.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite athlete?
Ooh, that's a good one. Not really.
Okay.
Um, I'm trying to think. I do think Caitlin Clark is pretty cool with
A
what
lot
she's
of
doing.
people do. Yeah, a lot of people
Yeah,
do that. Yeah, that's pretty
that's
good.
that's one that stands out to me. I've been following the Nebraska volleyball team. I think their story has just been so great. Um, yeah, it's fun to watch other sports
I can
outside of
sense
softball.
that. I can hear that. That's very sense that. Let me let you go on this. I know you got a lot of softball to go this season here, getting going. Conference play will get going. What are going to be some of the keys for your team to accomplish all your internal goals?
Yeah, I think obviously, like we talked about before, a big one is finishing strong. And then I think just playing for each other and staying within ourselves and not letting any moment get too big. And um, I feel like we're an underdog in a way, but then we also like have been doing really good. So just yeah, just not letting like any kind of momentum like stop. Like just keep getting better and better and better. We actually were talking about that today and just building off of everything and not taking any steps backwards.
You're doing your part for sure, and your team's doing off to a great start this season. We're going to be following it closely. But in the meantime, hey, thanks so much for taking the time. We've been a fan from afar. Keep up the great play. Stay healthy, and we'll hope to do this again down the road. But in the meantime, good luck, and thanks for talking to us here on In the Circle and D1 Softball.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And I think I can speak for all of softball that we really appreciate what you guys do for us and how you have been advocating for our sport and just putting us all on the map. It's been really cool.